Hello there folks, and thanks for joining me once again. Today's fly that I'm going to tie for you is a simple little soft hackle pattern, and it simply uses peacock herl for the body, a small gold wire or copper rib, and a starling feather for the hackle. There's a lot of flies out there that use starling feathers for the hackle, and this is just one that I come up with that I tie up. And I thought I'd share this one with you, and I hope you enjoy this one. And you have the materials and you can tie it up and give it a go. And I tie it in the smaller sizes, like this is a size 14 wet fly hook down to an 18, because as you know, starling feathers aren't very big, they're fairly small. So they generally have to tie them in the smaller sizes usually. So we'll get this little device here, a fresh hook in, and I'll get started for you. Okay, I simply have a barbless size 14 wet fly hook that I chose, and you just go ahead and choose any wet fly hook that you like to use, and a size 14. Alright, we got him locked in the vise. Now for thread I'm using red. I like to use red thread on this fly, UTC 70 in red. Alright, cool. We're going to start our thread about hook eye length behind the eye here, and get a thread base down as we usually do here. Okay, I'll snip off the excess thread. Alrighty. Now we'll go down to about where the barb would generally be. Alrighty, so now I'm going to take a piece of small copper wire, or you can use gold. And you could also use silver. I don't think it would matter a heck of a lot. Now we'll tie that down. Wrap forward till we start our thread, then we'll come back about halfway there, and I'll stick that out of the way there. Okay, and the body's peacock herl, so I just using 3 strands for it's a small fly. 2 to 3 strands is plenty for this, and if you go down smaller you can just use 2 usually instead of 3. Okay, I got the ends there trimmed off, the brittle stuff. Now I'm going to attach that on my side here, like so. Come back, make a little dubbing loop, just like so here. Okay, I'm gonna lock that dubbing loop down, come back a couple more wraps to where we ended our thread at the back there, and then I'm going to wrap forward. Alrighty, so now I'll grab the herl in the loop, and we're going to make a little rope here, as you see me do many times on my videos. Okay, we're going to spin that up, just like so there. Alright, I'm just going to start that with the rotary function, then we're going to spin it wrap it by hand rather, the first wrap or 2. Okay, I'm going to give that a little snug pull, and I'm going to twist it up nice and tight, but you don't want to over twist it, of course. That's when she'll break on you if you do that, so just be careful. Alright, we'll wrap that forward now. And don't worry if a little bit of the red thread shows through. I kind of like that actually, if a little bit of red thread shows through the body. Alright, so we only got a couple more wraps. I want to back that thread back. Alrighty. So we'll come up around, up to the top one more time, and I'm going to tie off. So bring my thread around once, twice around. I'm going to regain the thread tension, pull it nice and tight. Alright, then we're going to tie that off, just like so. Snip off the excess. There's our body. Okay, so we have that much done here so far. Now, we'll just grab our small copper wire at the back here, and I'm going to counter wrap on the herl. We'll come around with 3 to 4 wraps usually. Most of the time it works out 4 or 5 actually, so then we'll tie that off. Lock that wire down in place there. A couple wraps behind and front, then we're going to helicopter it off, just like so. Alright, a couple more securing wraps to make sure it's locked in there well. Alright, there's our body with the copper rib. Now there's just one more ingredient, and that's our starling feather. And I have one ready here. I stripped the fuzzies off and got the tip there. We're going to tie it in by the tip. So what I'm going to do is stroke those fibers back where it's just the tip, and then I'm going to cut a small little triangle tie-in point like so here. See that there? So now I'm going to catch that in at the eye of the hook here. Tie it down really well. Alrighty. Okay, now we're ready to wrap. So I'll grab my little plunger style hackle pliers, which I find are great for doing soft hackles. And I should mention that these are very delicate feathers, and you want to be very careful when you're wrapping them. Go ever so careful. And you usually only get about 2.5 wraps or so, sometimes 3. And we'll tie that guy off here. Couple wraps back of that stem like so. I'll make 1 or 2 in front. Release those pliers. Okay, now we're going to leave the stem there for now, and I'm just going to take my fingers and sweep everything back. And we're going to wrap back 4 or 5 wraps there onto that. Then you should be able to reach in and grab the stem of that feather and snip it out, or just give it a little pull like so. See how it looks there? We got hackles all the way around. Looks pretty good. There's not much to this little fly, but they're good working little flies. Something about those starling feathers, the action in the water. Alright, so I'm going to just make a couple more wraps back onto this guy, and then we're going to do a whip finish. Okay, that's fine. Now grab my whip finisher here, folks. And we'll get a 4 or 5 turn whip finish on them here. Okay. There we go. Snug it down nice and tight. Seat the knot nice and tight. And we'll come in and snip off the excess. And there we have it. Size 14 starling soft hackle. Okay. Now our last step. For this particular fly, I'm just going to use some lacquer for this guy. Put a little drop on. I'm not going to use bubble dry on this guy. So get some on my dubbing needle here. And I'm just going to put one little drop. Let it soak in those thread wraps. Alrighty, there we go. Done deal. Well, there we have it. So once again, I hope you'll give this guy a try or tie him up if you have some starling feathers, and it's a real simple pattern. Another one to add to that list of simple flies, but effective as well. So, like I always say, folks, if you haven't seen my videos before and you'd like to see more flies in the future, hit that good old subscribe button there and the bell so you know when I put new videos up. And also throw in a like too if you wish. And if you have any comments or suggestions, put them down below, and because I always read them each and every time. Appreciate it. So until next time, folks, I want to wish you happy tying out there as always, and until next time, so long for now, folks.